Tokoza giyo yawa. Gimicha mwemari ni gimodo kirikige. Gimicha mwemari ni gimodo kirikige. Apenjo tokoza giyo yawa, apenjo tokoza giyo yawa. Gimicha mwemari ni gimodo kirikige. If I say story, you say stories come. Stories. Stories. Oh, the measure by which you say stories come tells me how badly you want a story. Story. Looks like these people want a story. These people do not. Get out. Stories. Oh, looks like these people want a story. These people do not. Get out. Stories. Now let's do it in our language. If I say hadithi, you say hadithi njo. Hadithi. I can't hear you, my brother. Say hadithi njo, hadithi. Oh, if I say, can I tell you a story? I want you to say, get on with it. Can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a story? If I say, are you ready for a story? I want you to say, get on with it. Are you ready for a story? Get mad. Shake your fist at me. Are you ready for a story? Get mad. Throw your wallet at me. Are you ready for a story? Throw your wallet at me. Get mad. Can I tell you a story? If I say Ina, I want you to say outer. Ina. Can I tell you a story, my brother? Say, get on with it. Can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a story, my brother? Can I tell you a story, my sister? Oh, Mukiza, can I tell you a story, my sister? Can I tell you a story, my brother? Can I tell you a story, my brother? Can I tell you a story? Are you ready for a story? Are you ready for a story? Can I tell you a story? Are you ready for a story? Once upon a time, hapo zamani za kale, Chongilala, awo oluatuka. There was a man and a woman, a husband and a wife. Can I tell you a story? Say, get on with it. Can I tell you a story? I say, Ina. Say, out. I say, Ina. Can I tell you a story? A husband and a wife, they lived by the shores of Lake Albert in Uganda. One day, the husband and the wife that were fishermen, they were fishmongers. They ate fish for breakfast, a fish for lunch, a fish for dinner, a fish for snacks. Every day they ate fish. One morning, the wife woke up and said, husband. Yes, says the husband. The world has changed. Yes. He said, husband, I want you to go and catch fish so you can bring some good tilapia, so you can bring some good Nile perch, so I can make you some fish soup. And the husband said, yes, I will. And the husband, he got up and he went into the Lake Albert. 1 hour, he did not catch any fish. 2 hours, he did not catch any fish. 3 hours, he did not catch any fish. Can I tell you a story? Are you ready for a story? Can I tell you a story? 4 hours, he did not catch any fish. Can I tell you a story? 5 hours, he did not catch any fish. Can I tell you a story? 6 hours, he did not catch any fish. Can I tell you a story? Oh, when he came back from the lake, the wife was waiting for him. Said, where have you been? 6 hours and you did not catch any fish. Where have you been? Who have you been with? And what have you been doing? And the wife and the husband started arguing by the lake. They were arguing vehemently. They did not see a short, strange fellow who was approaching them. The short, strange fellow who looked different. He was short, he had a crooked teeth, and he spoke with a different accent. He looked at the husband and the wife arguing, and they stopped arguing, and they looked at this short, strange fella. And the short, strange fella looked at the husband and said, "My name is Oregorego." And he said, "Me that you see here, I have come to fish. My only reason for existence is to fish. Give me something so I can fish." And the woman, he turned and looked at this short fellow and said, "If you want to fish, and my husband can't seem to catch any fish, there is the lake. Catch some fish and bring so I can cook for my husband." And the man, he looked at the woman and said, "Hey mama, me that you see here, I have come to fish. My only reason for existence is to fish. Give me something so I can fish." And the man, he took out his shirt, he took out his pants, and he was naked. He jumped into the lake naked. Can I tell you a story? Oh, are you ready for a story? He jumped into the lake naked, singing a very strange song. Are you ready for a story? I have to teach you this song, and you have to echo back. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Your response is, "Rego chumbe." Can you say, "Rego chumbe"? Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Rego chumbe, orego, rego, orego rego, rego. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego, rego chumbe. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego, rego chumbe, orego, orego rego. This man, he entered into the lake naked and he started catching fish with bare hands and tossing them onto the beach. Catching fish with bare hands and tossing them onto the beach. He was catching so much fish and tossing them back and forth into the beach. The whole beach was filled with fish. And everybody came and said, "Who is this spectacle of a man who is catching so much fish?" They were shocked. And when they saw him come out of the water naked, they said, "He's a strange one. He's a strange one. He's not one of us. He's a strange one." And the elders around Lake Albert said, "If this strange man continues to catch fish in our Lake Albert, he will finish all the fish." Can I tell you a story? Oh, are you ready for a story? They said, "This strange man, we have to send him away from here." They said, "Where do we send him?" Send him to the longest freshwater lake in Africa. Where is the longest freshwater lake in Africa? It happens to be right there in Tanganyika. Yes. Lake Tanganyika is the longest. Let's go. It is the It's longer than that. Don't ruin my story. Lake Tanganyika is the Keep going. It is the longest lake in Africa. Let's send him to Lake Tanganyika so he can catch fish with the people of Digo and Dogoma. And they send him away from Lake Albert, go to Lake Tanganyika. Can I tell you a story? Are you ready for a story? I say, Ina, you are not ready for this story. Can I tell you a story? Are you ready for this story? They send him to Lake Tanganyika. When he got to Lake Tanganyika, among the Digo and Dogoma, oh, the man, he took out his shirt, he took out his pants, and he was naked. He was about to jump into Lake Tanganyika. And the people of Digo and Dogoma said, "Hey, Ndugu, here in Tanganyika, we don't catch fish naked. We use a spear." And he looked at them and said, "Hey, mama, me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to give me something so I can." They said, "Here in Tanganyika, we use spears." And they taught him how to use a spear. And he went into the lake singing a strange song. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego. Orego rego. The man, he jumped into the lake and he started to spear and spear and spear and spear. He was spearing so much fish. He killed so much fish that the people of Tanganyika said, "Who is this strange man? who comes to our lake and has the audacity to catch more fish than us Tanzanians. Let us send him away. They said, but where do we send him? He's too big for a fish lake. Send him to the largest freshwater lake in Africa, which is Lake Victoria. Yes, send him right next to Lake Victoria. Can I tell you a story? Oh, are you ready for a story, Crystal? Are you ready for a story? Oh, let's send him to Lake Victoria so he can catch fish with the Luos. When this man, he was sent away from Tanganyika to the Luos in Lake Victoria. When he came to the Lake Victoria, he took out his what? His shirt. He took out his pants and he was naked. He was about to jump into the lake. And the Luo said, hey, Omera, don't play with us. Here among the Luos, we don't catch fish naked, Bwana. We use a fishing net. And he said, hey, mama, me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to give me something so I can fish. And the Luos, they taught this man how to use a fishing net. And the man, he cast the fishing net and he pulled it. He catched it. Before you know it, this man, he was catching so much fish, singing the strange song. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego. Orego rego. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego. He was catching so much fish. The Luos got upset with him and said, hey, who is this Jagoni? If this man continues to catch fish in our Lake Victoria like this, he will finish all the fish. Let us send him away to Europe, Australia, England, away from here. But they could not get a visa. Can I tell you a story? Oh, they said, where can we send him? They said, send him to India. He can go to India. So they sent him to the largest freshwater lake in India, in Jammu Kashmir, called Lake Hular. Can I tell you a story? Oh, you're not ready for this story. Can I tell you a story? Oh, they sent him to Jammu and Kashmir in India. When this man, he got to Jammu and Kashmir in India, he did what? He took out his, and he was naked. And the Indian said, hey, are yaar, ye kaun hai? Who are you, yaar? Why do you take your clothes naked here? Here in our India, we don't catch the fish naked here. We use the line. You cast the line and you pull. You throw the line, you pull. You throw the line, you pull. Are ye kaun hai? And the man, he said, teach me. Hey, mama, me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to give me something so I can fish. And the Indians, they taught this man how to use a line. And before you know it, he started singing his strange song as he used the line. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego. Orego rego. This man, he was catching so much fish in India. The Indians got upset and said, who is this man who comes to our lake and has the audacity to catch more fish than us? We can't have this man in our lake. Before you know it, he will finish on the lake, the fish. Where do we send him? Said the Indians. The Indians, they scratched their head and said, let us send him to the largest freshwater lake in the whole world. Which happens to be lake? In the whole world. Lake Superior in Canada. Yes, they send him to Lake Superior in Canada. Oh, when the Indians sent him to Lake Superior in Canada, when he arrived in Lake Superior, can I tell you a story? Say, get on with it. Can I tell you a story? Are you ready for a story, my brothers? Can I tell you a story? Oh, the Indians, they send him to Lake Superior. When this man, he got to Canada, he took out his clothes, he took out his shirt, and he was naked. And the Canadian said, hey, here in Canada, we don't catch fish naked. We use a trolley. And the man, he said, hey, mama, me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to give me something so I can. So they taught him how to catch a fish using the trolley. Before you know it, this man, He was catching so much fish in Canada, the Canadians got concerned. Can I tell you a story? The Canadians got concerned and said, this man, if he continues catching fish like this in Lake Superior, he's going to finish up all the fish. Let us rotate him among the Great Lakes. Send him to Lake Huron, send him to Lake Ontario, send him to Lake Michigan, send him to Lake Erie, send him to Lake Superior. Let us rotate him. And they started to rotate him in Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, Lake Superior. Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, Lake Superior. Can I tell you a story? Yeah. Can I tell you a story? Yeah. I say, Ina! This man, he got into the lake singing his strange song. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego rego mawakula, orego rego. Orego. Orego rego. He was catching so much fish. But when he came to United States of America, America closed his borders. America closed his borders. He was not allowed into America. Can I tell you a story? You see, in America, there is the longest river in North America called River Mississippi. Mississippi starts all the way from Canada and goes all the way down to Louisiana, to Mississippi. Yes, thank you very much. One of those distributaries that goes and fills the Mississippi River starts from Canada. Who said Canada? Thank you very much. Some of those distributaries that go into River Mississippi starts from Canada. One day, when Orego he was fishing. Can I tell you a story? Oh, you're not ready for this story. Can I tell you a story? Oh, you're not ready for this story. One of those distributaries from the Great Lakes meandered into the Mississippi River. And this man, he slowly found himself fishing in the River Mississippi. He slowly found himself in Minnesota. Can I tell you a story? He slowly found himself in Iowa. Can I tell you a story? He slowly found himself in Illinois. Can I tell you a story? He slowly found himself in Arkansas. Can I tell you a story? He slowly found himself in Louisiana. Can I tell you a story? He slowly found himself in Tennessee. Can I tell you a story? He slowly found himself down south. Can I tell you a story? Passing through great cities like St. Paul. Can I tell you a story? Passing through great cities like St. Louis. Can I tell you a story? Passing through great cities like Memphis, Tennessee. Can I tell you a story? Passing through great cities like La Crosse. Can I tell you a story? Passing through great cities like Le Belize. Can I tell you a story? Passing through great cities like Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Can I tell you a story? Are you ready for a story? This man, he continues to fish wherever he went. Can I tell you a story? And that is the story of us immigrants. We come from different countries. When we come here, they look at us and say, you have a strange accent. You look different. But what do you tell them? Hey, mama, me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to give me something and I will show you how to fish. Can I tell you a story? Oh, are you ready for a story? You are not ready for this story. Me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to give me something so I can show you how to fish. Me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to give me something so I can. And that is why we are here to celebrate the youth of Uganda. To tell them that you that I see you here, your only reason for existence is to give you something so you can say, look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to give me something so I can. This story is dedicated to immigrants wherever you are. Because wherever you go, people look at you and say, you look different. You eat funny food. Your food smells different. But you tell them, me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to give me something and I will show you how to. I will be a better fisherman than. Can I tell you a story? Oh, this is the story. This is the story. This is the story of Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is the story of Trevor Noah. This is the story of Rihanna. This is the story of Akon. This is the story of Lupita Nyong'o and Pogba, I think more, Chef Marcus Samuelson, Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, Wyclef, Miriam Makeba, Dikembe Mutombo, Wangari Maathai, Tamba Ali, Sundar Pichai, Usifu Jallow, Mara Menzies, Jane Blake, Ben Johnson, Salma Hayek, Bob Marley, Jackie Chan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the NBA, Matthias Kiwanuka from Uganda, the first Ugandan to play in the NFL. This is their story. Bernard Lagat, Joel Embiid from Cameroon, Hakeem Olajuwon from Nigeria, Bobby Jindal, Satya Nadella. I want you to look at your neighbor and say, hey neighbor, me that you see here, I have come to. My only reason for existence is to